Yeah, the whole encouraging and all that stuff.
Hello, hello. It's your girl Lily Mae
Hi, Amber J.
we will be going live shortly. So I'm gonna go ahead and start inviting you guys so we can get this thing rocking and rolling. Please feel free to invite your friends, family, even your foes, because tonight we are going to talk about none other than the establishment. Um, Significant, very significant.
Okay, let me hurry up and get done with this radio show.
So we definitely want to thank you for all your support thus far, and we look forward to chit chatting with you more.
Where do you find that one at?
That way we can.
Yes, that one is real. Yeah, I got radio on that. Yeah. Alright.
Hey y'all, we don't have no music on, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna be getting it done in just a moment. Hey, whoever is out there in radio land. We definitely invite you guys to call in. Also, once we get rocking and rolling, probably about 15-20 minutes in, we'll get you to call in to 804-402-2893. Definitely want to hear from you because this topic tonight will definitely impact the mass majority of us, and so we want to make sure that we are reaching out to everybody and discussing things with everybody and using verbiage that you definitely understand and feel comfortable with. So please don't hesitate to give us a call. We definitely want to talk to you. We want to hear from you. And the reality is that the time has struck 7 o'clock. So we are getting ready to get started. So please, like I said, give us a call. We're definitely ready to chit chat with you. And hopefully you will get a kick out of our conversation tonight. How about it?
I'm coming. Y'all ready?
It's about y'all, man.
No, ma'am. It's about us making sure that we talk about these
Are we on
crazy.
Facebook yet?
Just about.
Yeah, we live,
You live with
I
that?
was like, before I start fixing wrong.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, we got that on Facebook too.
Hey, put this on there, Steve.
Hey, everybody. We're getting ready to get started shortly, so I hope y'all ready, because we ready for y'all.
Alright, we're live on lines.
Hello everybody, it's one and only Mr. LP's Steven Sykes. I'm here with Author Tracy Hardy Scott, Amber J, LL, Motivational Brown Girls. We're here, about ready to get started. Hope everybody's having fun.
Excuse me, I'm gonna have to negotiate your contract. They need their own theme song. Put that in the right thing.
Because then we will, everything will be right. Yes.
I don't know, Thursday.
Hello everybody, this is your host. Hello everybody, this is your host, the one and only Mr. LP Steven Sykes of Live Radio, part of LegacyInternetRadio.com. Hope everybody's having fun today. Today is the 24th of January. Sorry for me sounding a little bit out of breath. I've been running a little bit, so we're just trying to do what we can, but I appreciate each and every one of you. We catch breath. Before we start the show, we're going to try to open up with a prayer and things as always. Don't want to get beat. Thank you very much, Lord, for the opportunity to share words, honor, blessings, and so much opportunity with us, Lord. We have so much going on out there, pain, hurt, and so much more, but hopefully we can get to a positive understanding and education. We can help bless everybody, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Just to let everybody know, today is a good and very special day because we have Motivational Brown Girls here today.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
And these lovely ladies, along with other co-hosts here, Miss Author Tracy Hardy Scott, we're just going to do what we can to have fun and share some information. These girls have a plan, they have a goal, and a whole bunch of information as they're always here with us. So I'm gonna let the show, don't think I'm just ignoring anything, I'm gonna keep somewhat quiet. These ladies here are going to share the powerful message that they have going on for today. So ladies, I'm gonna just sit here and turn it over to y'all.
Good evening, everybody. Once again, it's your girl, Lily Mae of Motivational Brown Girls, and I'm here with my elegant, eloquent, illustrious co-host.
What's up, everybody? This is Amber J, the other half, wonderful half, not as wonderful as my other half, but the wonderful half of Motivational Brown Girls. We're in the building. We are so excited today to discuss everything that's going on in the world and then some, and hopefully to inform y'all so y'all get out there and be agents of change just like us. Now, I can't keep going, but I gotta introduce this young lady beside me, this Queen right here.
You guys are a mess. I'm happy to be here. Hey everybody, this is author Tracy Hardy Scott, better known as Raw Silk the Realist, I'm glad to be sitting in with these divas. I always have great conversation when we're in company.
So let's get moving. So it's gonna be a little bit different. We learned a lot from Miss Raw Silk herself about structures, making sure that things are done in decency and in order. So tonight, we're gonna start off by introducing the topic. And as it relates to introducing the topic, we're gonna talk a little bit about the transition and the establishment. And so, I know you guys hear that word a lot. The establishment. So we want to talk to you a little bit about what the establishment is, what the transition is. We'll give you a little bit of history of the federal government, and then we're going to move into the meat of our conversation. So the meat will be, we're going to talk about the Affordable Care Act, for those of you who don't understand that Obama is not Obamacare, it's the Affordable Care Act. Then we're going to talk to you a little bit about the discriminatory wall. And we're also gonna, Amber J is gonna take the lead on talking to you a little bit about the inauguration and some of the specifics associated with it and what came out of it. So, everybody, Mr. LP, Arthur Tracy, and are y'all ready? Y'all ready to rock and roll tonight?
I'm ready. I'm staying quiet.
Okay.
I'm saying thing.
So, just a little bit of history about the federal government. I think the first thing we need to enlighten you on is the simple fact that the federal government was established long before the Constitution came into play. I need you to understand that. I need you to understand that our first official form of government were called the Articles of Confederation. Now, the Articles were the weakest form of government that our founding fathers could come up with, simply because we broke free from England. We didn't want to be under that monarchy rule, so they figured, okay, if we have a weak central government, then we can therefore govern ourselves. See, that's where the people came from. And so, under the Articles of Confederation, there was only one body, governing body, and that was the legislature. So it was what's called a unicameral government. One body, okay? And so there was no room to tax, no common currency. Every state could do their own thing. Well, you can understand why that's chaotic. Look at us now. You see what I'm saying? So then we moved into our now Constitution, the United States Constitution, which set up, the three branches of government, checks and balances. You have the Supreme Court, your bicameral legislature, and your executive branch, which consists of the president and his or he or she's cabinet. And so with that being stated, we really want you to understand that the history of the government is significant because, for one, there have been a history of wars throughout, the establishment of our government. Generally, what has happened is we went to war, and then some form of government came out of it, or some policy or some major piece of legislation came out of it. So I need you to understand that you have to prepare for war in the time of peace, meaning that right now, there is no peace, but we need to be preparing for war now. I don't want to get too far into that, but I just want to give you a little bit of history on our government, and we'll continue to touch on the history as we move into discussing the transition. A part of history is also understanding that there have been multiple political parties throughout the history of the government. We started with the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists, or the Federalists and the Jeffersonian Republicans. Okay, I need you to understand something. I need you to really get this. I need you to understand that modern day Democrats do not believe in the same things that Democrats once believed in. I need you to understand that modern day Republicans do not believe in the same things that Republicans once believed in. What you need to understand is your boy Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Yes, crickets. Your boy Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. I need you to understand that. I need you to understand that the parties did not switch. Or, I'm not going to say the parties switched, because the reality is the parties did not switch. The party's philosophy and platform switched. And that came about with Franklin Roosevelt and the New Deal. So I need you to understand these things, to truly understand why we are where we are and why we have to run our government instead of the government running us with its bipartisan nature. And with that being stated, I kind of want to pass the buck real quick. I'm going to jump over my co-host here and pass the buck to Arthur Tracy Hardy Scott, who really has passion when it comes to talking about the parties. She's very well versed on seeing how individuals work across party lines. So just want to get a little bit of input on her as it relates to the parties. Then we're going to jump to my 50 here, Amber J, and let her talk a little bit about the inauguration. And then I'll come back and give you a little bit of history on the inauguration.
I think, Queen, that you raised a good point, a serious jewel of knowledge, because a lot of people in this modern day age think that, okay, the Democrats is for the poor and the Republicans are for the rich, and that wasn't always the case, okay? During slavery times, it was the Republicans that actually wanted to free the slaves, and it was the Democrats that were really, really against it, as you stated before, that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and if you look through the heartbeat of time, Martin Luther King was a Republican, okay? And so there was some Frederick Douglass, there was some very affluential African Americans that supported the Republican Party because their platform was for us and about us. And somewhere around that Franklin Delano Roosevelt, yeah, that thing right there. All of this started switching, and then over time, everybody just automatically thought that. And it's so funny because realistically, if you even do your history further, there was a reason why the elephant was chosen for one party and why the donkey was chosen for the other. And I think Mr. LP and I talked about that on one of our shows. So it is critical that we know that, and it is critical that we get back. If this hasn't showed us anything about trusting parties, okay, most of us are Democrats because it's been in your family tree. It's all you know. Okay, it's all that's been preached to you. It's all that you know, and those that are Republican normally are rich, white, wealthy, or black people that forgot where they came from, and so on and so forth. But that's not really the case. Realistically, you should be voting on who's speaking the language of what's going to help and apply to you.
Right.
And if this election hasn't taught us anything, it taught us that we can't trust in parties because, first of all, they all belong to the same network now. Exactly. They all talk. There's truth in movies. I know it's so funny because I was talking to someone and I said, if you ever watched that low-budget movie that Eddie Murphy made, The Distinguished Gentleman.
Yes.
Okay. That was an excellent movie when you're involved like I am and you all are in politics, because that's exactly what happened. They get into these meetings and they barter with what they're going to do with us. Like, hey, if you support my energy bill, I'll support, so on and so forth or whatever. And so even when they're against something, if it's a benefit in there for them. And so I think that if anybody wants to understand the political situation right now, The Distinguished Gentleman breaks it down as simple as possible. Basically, you wash my back, I'll wash your back.
Very much tit for tat, quick, boom, all that. So I think that's my inauguration.
Please indeed.
Thank you so much, Ron Silk, for that. That was very enlightening. Because I actually spoke with Lily Mae about that not too long ago, about the Distinguished Gentleman and how, even though he was a con man, it took him to
I'll con.
yeah, pretty much to put it on blast.
Absolutely.
Of what was going on. But I was, unfortunately, what was I doing? I was at work. Yeah, I was at work during the inauguration, and I happened to catch at work when they went to lunch. It was at lunch, and people were talking here and there, and talking about the crowd, how the crowd was lightly attended, and all that stuff. So I had because I knew, dealing with Lily May, I had to write some notes and get it together for a possible form or a possible show. That's how Mama Lily May do.
Mhm.
So I wrote about 2.5 pages of notes, but what I was saying from everything that I saw, I would probably put the theme of silent but deadly.
Okay.
Because it was a lot of body talk and not enough actual talking.
Absolutely.
Just from looking at it, I'm just sitting there just mind blown. Looking at how the interaction was between him, Trump, and Mike Pence. Paul Ryan and that whole crew really was kind of buddy with Mike Pence versus Trump. Trump was kind of like the loner out to himself. But what I did notice when Pence was sworn in first by the great Clarence Thomas, and I say that loosely, Paul Ryan was a little bit too happy about the swearing in. Just a little bit too happy. He was like really giddy, like, oh yeah, he's in, kind of thing. And he sat by him the whole time. He was like just attached to the hip the whole time with him. But Trump, it was more so the crowd or those who voted for him, not necessarily within. I noticed, and it's been going around on the internet, that his interaction with his wife was terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It was blatantly disrespectful.
Yeah, terrible, disrespectful, how you would put it. But you know, the Obamas had to kind of escort her in, and even though he left her high and dry, he didn't really kind of pay attention to her until he was like way in the door of the White House, way in the door. But after that, he really was just like doing him, and she was kind of just tagging along. Like, I don't know why I'm here, I didn't sign up for this. That was kind of the look on her face. Wow. It just seemed like, you know how you see like the cartoon of the mad scientist? Like when like Frankenstein got the electricity, he was kind of rubbing his hands together like, yes, it's finally come together. That's what I got from the congressman. That's what I got from Paul Ryan. That's what I got from everybody else who was around Mike Pence. There's always been a separation between Donald Trump and Mike Pence from the gate. Both of them have different agendas. Even at the lunch, they sat with space between them.
That's because Mike Pence is your president.
I know that. I know that.
Mike Pence is
And you know, definitely gonna have to go there.
That's what it is. I mean, that's what I noticed. It's like everybody was, Mike Pence. Even into signing the executive orders. Paul Ryan is directing Mike Pence, hey, come over here and stand right here. Let me show you what's going on, cuz you just might have to sign this stuff too. And it was kind of like, if you really wasn't paying attention, you wouldn't have caught it, but it was kind of a teaching moment for Mike Pence, so to speak, from Paul Ryan, secretively, because like I said, it was a lot of body talk and not enough talk. It was just a lot of secrecy going on, and pretty much it seemed like Trump trying to front like he know what he's doing, but he don't know what he's doing.
Well, he's confused.
Yeah, it was a crazy confusion. Like every time he signed, it was funny because every time he would sign an executive order for his cabinet, his semi-cabinet, as I say, he'll say the name. He's like, she's so and so and so. That's right. What do you mean that's right? You don't recall the people who? I'm like,
no. The thing about it, if I could interject a point, one of the things that really gets up underneath my skin as a businesswoman is when people give Donald Trump kudos that he's a successful business person and he's a successful businessman. I want you to remove yourself from the situation, and if you're employed, think about your employer, think about your boss. more than 50% of the workforce knows more than their immediate supervisor, has the more experience than their immediate supervisor. It's just that their immediate supervisor either knew someone or was lucky enough to get there first. The reason why I say that is, as a business person and as somebody who has worked in his environment and worked on Wall Street, all Donald Trump has done is do the successful businessman thing, and that's surround himself with a team of people who know how to run business. That doesn't make him a successful businessman. That makes him a success in hiring practices, okay? Because when his companies, he's not running his companies. He's signing paperwork. There's someone in charge of operations. There's someone in charge of management. So before we start giving kudos to him individually, half of the people that work for a Trump organization, he does not even know. He comes into no contact with them whatsoever, except for the people that sit on the executive branch of his corporation.
Right, and that's how it came off. Again, when he was signing the exec orders and a few other things that he was signing off, and it was kind of looking like, yeah, just sign it, like, let me just slide this picture to you real quick to sign it, because you're not going to read it. Just sign it real quick. It's all good. It's for the betterment of the people. And that's how it was when you just see people surrounding him. That's how it was. It was just sign this, sign this, sign this. It's not, no, you don't have time to read, just sign it. Because we got to move on. We got lunch, we got all this, we got a busy day. Now, I want to hit on the speech real quick. Before.
Oh yeah, well actually, before you hit on the speech, let's go back and recap. Because I think we need to pull out a couple of things. So Amber J and Raw Silk discussed two very important things. They discussed the simple fact that your president and your vice president is not on one accord. Let me help you understand something. There is a concept called the critical election. And the critical election is sometimes referenced as an electoral earthquake. What that simply means is splits appear in each party's coalition. Hence, your split in your Republican Party right now. New issues appear which divide the electorate, like the Affordable Care Act, like this bogus discriminatory wall, and each party forms a new coalition. Now, you may not see the new coalition because the Republican Party, unlike the Democratic Party, the Republican Party is going to do this behind closed doors. Hence, having Donald Trump to be the face of the presidency because nobody knows Mike Pence, so Donald Trump had to win so that he could be impeached and convicted, because I need you to understand that.
That's the whole goal.
I need you to, oh yeah, I need you to understand that. And so what happens is a critical election transforms this whole system into a realignment, and that's what we're coming up on.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now she said that. I'll touch on the speech real quick. Just my input for what I saw. Of course, he gets up there and he puts his thumb up. Then he gives a couple fist pumps. The same kind of sort of fist pumps that President Obama was bashed for. But I digress.
Those Muslims.
Yeah, I digress. He gave thanks, which wasn't a sincere thanks. I mean, again, this was a silent but deadly type of inauguration. It was just a bunch of body movement, body talk. What baffled me about this man was he gave thanks and said, oh, President Obama and First Lady Obama, they're magnificent. Then you turn right around and criticize what they did without saying their names in it and all that. So how you give thanks and then turn around and say, oh, well, America is in this trash-like state, but the statistics tell us totally different than what you're saying. So again, you're in campaign mode, as Ross said in her show last Friday. You're in campaign mode and you're still in attack mode and you still
I'm like, dude, you won.
yeah, you still kind of like trying to scratch at the wound, and you scratch at the wound and you're still trying to pull stuff for people like, yeah, that's right, they still ain't been doing, that's right, stirring stuff back up that you stirred from the beginning.
Let me say hi to everybody on Facebook world. Thank you very much for joining in. Hello, Miss Brandy. How you doing? Ashley Jefferson is watching. She says Paul Ryan wants to be president. I saw it in his eyes when he did the town hall meeting last month.
agree.
He's plotted to take the White House. This may sound like a joke, but it's really not.
I agree.
She also says that Trump is a business person who's concerned about money, not people. Businessmen will cut off the things that are not bringing the money, and that includes Section 8 unions, student grants, and everything else that will cost a business. America will have money, but the people will be poor. Thanks to Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Middle East. Also, there was an article I posted not just too long before the show started that there were 17 things that he has executive orders in place that we're trying to take out, which is very dangerous.
Of course. And I mean, and to kind of piggyback on that, you have Democrats who come in one term and do, for instance, he wrote the whole thing about, he's trying to take away Planned Parenthood and the abortion thing. We know Republicans aren't with the whole abortion thing. So of course they're going to write stuff to try to get rid of that. So then of course Democrats come in and put it back. So it's like a back and forth. But to continue with this speech, just like you said on your show, Ross, he did kind of put his hand up to signal people to clap. I thought it was quite funny.
Should have bought right there.
I thought it was quite funny.
Flavor.
He was kind of
Right, he needed flavor when they played with his clock.
What happened was he had.
Come to the mic, you gotta come to the mic, we can't hear you.
I was on my way.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
There you go.
See, what happened was that he was at the CIA and they had a little conference going on. 4 roles was studio ones that he hired
For the CIA.
for the CIA. The CIA was in the back.
She's talking about the inauguration, but.
Oh, they were studio audience. He hired people to clap and all that. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I posted an article how they got hired.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
Yeah.
CBS confirmed that
the
he had
same
seat fillers,
fake news.
and the CIA representative came out and said that it was not the CIA that was cheering for him, it was people he brought with him as seat fillers.
And the
These were
first,
some of the same people that he used
Yes.
during the
he
campaign.
did. The first 4 rows of seats that you saw on television, the people in the front, those ones he brought to them and he paid them to do all that,
Wow.
the clap and everything. Yes, it was crazy.
Money talks.
Yeah, money talks.
Wow.
Really
So you see people, he's still conning. But he also mentioned in his speech, thank you for that,
You welcome.
in his speech, again, he hit the inner cities. For some odd reason, he really feels like black folk,
Okay.
all of us, is all from the inner city.
This, thank you. Thank you.
And then
I talked about this yesterday about wordplay, okay? If you look up the word inner city has nothing to do with the ghetto.
Thank you.
It has nothing to do with
Absolutely.
black
It
people.
has nothing
It's
to
just
do with
a
black
number.
people. It's just, first of all, inner city was comprised of older houses in a certain area. Okay, that's what inner city came up with. When you look at it, if you Google, okay, the difference between inner city and ghetto, okay, inner city, anybody can live in an inner city. We live in an inner city or whatever and stuff, okay?
We're in urban.
Urban, okay? So when they start talking about helping the children in a city, they're not talking about like Spanish Harlem or the Bronx or Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy or something. They're talking about lower Manhattan versus upper Manhattan. And we need to pay attention to this wordplay. So when Steve Harvey goes to have brunch with the Don and says that he's going there to talk about inner city kids and end up talking about golf, now you understand why.
Right. And he also tried to tie in inner cities with poverty and say something about mothers and children. Of course, he doesn't mention any fathers in that statement.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, interesting that you say it like that. He also stated in his speech, he will fight with every breath in his body. But an hour after that speech, what did he do? Mortgages went up.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
And then you cut the federal.
He hired him for it. But he's fighting for the people with every breath in his body. This is what he's telling the folk in
He
his
didn't
speech.
say what people.
You're right. But
The same people that the Constitution
was written for.
Exactly.
The same people that founded this country, the same people who called Frederick Douglass to the White House to meet with them so that he could go back and organize the slaves to free themselves in exchange for fighting for the Union Army so that we could have these United States. The reality is that we're the reason that the United States is the United States, and that we in Virginia and below don't live in the Confederate States of America. And the way West Virginia is acting, truth be told, you people that live in West Virginia, y'all broke away from Virginia because y'all didn't want to be a slave state. Learn your history or move out of your state.
Why you, and the thing I don't understand is the slave state, but you didn't put any policies to take care of the people in your state, because it was part of it to say slave state, but let's tell you the real truth. Because at the time, all the coal mining and everything else that was discovered at that time, they thought they were going to be the richest state in the Union, which ended up being the poorest state in the Union because they didn't have any federal protections that went in there. So now we got the black lung and all that other stuff that went in there, and now people are scared to drink the water. And now University of West Virginia is constantly building up medical issues.
Repealing what they call Obamacare, which is the Affordable Care Act, they will no longer be covered.
Right.
And so these idiots voted for something that they didn't realize they were cutting off their own nose to spite their
Oh,
face.
they have a proposal out they put out the other day, or you want to say yesterday or today?
That, everyone's
The HSA.
going to have.
The new proposal that the Republicans put out.
Yeah, the HSA, but they're not paying anybody, so how can you afford a
Exactly.
savings account?
Well, continue, because I know you gotta hit your points for me.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
He took another shot at John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis, and used that to pretty much try to say, oh, he's tired of congressmen and Congress is saying all bunch of stuff with no action. So you're still talking about John Lewis again? Okay, cool. He tried to bring unity in his speech, but nobody's feeling it because your campaign wasn't, because he tried to say, oh, we're coming together as one, it's all about America, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't say that in your campaign, so after you scratch wounds to get people excited, you can't go back and jump and say, oh, well, we gotta work together. You won't say it all during the campaign.
No.
You making fun of disabled people and all kinds of stuff. No. Sorry, it doesn't work. He said an interesting statement, and maybe one of y'all can help explain to me what this means. When you open your heart up to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. What does that mean?
Negroes report back to the plantation because your masters are taking over.
So, there's a political cartoon.
You asked me?
Yeah, I mean, you trying to be deep there or something? I don't know.
Like Amber J, I need these people to go and look at the political cartoon that is entitled The Ignorant Book, right? And so, in this cartoon, it's so ironic because Donald Trump continues to talk about this wall, and he continues to talk about Mexico and all this and that, but the funny thing to me is that this whole immigration issue has been a problem ever since they were building the Transcontinental Railroad. Like, there was an issue between the Chinese and the Irish that had nothing to do with us. The Chinese and the Irish. And so, even then, there was an issue with immigration, right? Mm-hmm. So then, on the East Coast, the issue was with African Americans and the Irish. Like, what? So you dealing with the Chinese built the western half of the railroad, the Irish built the eastern half of the railroad, and all y'all asses had to meet in the middle. But yet we have all these issues with immigration, and you made all of these acts and laws that you wanted to restrict immigration. But you know what's really interesting to me? We're indebted to China. And that's no coincidence. We're indebted to China. They built The western half of the transcontinental railroad. I need people to understand this. I need you to understand that history repeats itself. I need you to understand that Donald Trump is our modern day Andrew Johnson, and he's a part of Rutherford B. Hayes. I need you to get this. And that's why we're bringing this to you, because I need you to reach back and understand that every president that came under a war has acted like this man.
Let me add a little something to this before that. What their problem was is that they didn't have any foresight in terms of what they were doing. See, what they thought was it was okay to use Native Americans, the existing blacks that were here before slavery, and everybody else to help build the railroads and everything else, and then after the war, Reconstruction. Now the problem is that, okay, well, shoot, what are we going to do with them afterwards? Then they try to follow a similar policy where if you notice in Germany and a lot of the eastern blocks of Europe, there's a large contingent of Eastern Asian different people from countries. And they're like, well, why are they there? People forget that after World War II and the other previous wars, that the people stayed in this system of Reconstruction. They just integrated them to society and loved it, some of them anyway. But here we did not have the same policies, and that's why we have the issues that we have today compared to some cases in Europe.
I'm sorry, I have a totally different take on this. I don't see an immigration problem at all.
No,
and the reason why I don't see an immigration problem or issue, because number one, how do you have an immigration issue with stuff that you stole? First of all.
Exactly.
Second of all, I mean, when you talk about Los Angeles, that's all Hispanic, which leads into Mexico. So I don't have an immigration issue. When I look at the very essence of what the United States of America is, it has always been built on immigration. So I don't see how we have this immigration. And then for those that sit on a high horse and watch their Mexican gardeners or their African American nannies and babysitters and maids, I'm just trying to understand why you got on this high horse, because the reason why this happened in the first place, including Donald Trump and Trump Towers, is because most of your foreigners come here and do the jobs that Americans don't want to do and don't get paid nearly what they're worth. So I'm having a problem with the man who has Mexicans running his hotels in their housekeeping department, but then you want to build a wall.
Right. And your wife is an immigrant, but I digress.
Who came here on a visa.
Right, but I digress.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, when we start talking about immigration, we really need to go back. Some people need to go to Ellis Island in New York City and really see
and
the
Angels
history,
Island.
exactly, and really see
Yeah.
the history of the amount of people who came here in this country, where their lineage comes from. You know what I'm saying? They came here all for this American dream. Now, do I say that yes, there needs to be some reform in the essence of when people come here on visas and then they just disappear in the system? Absolutely. People that come here and they commit crimes and diplomatic immunity and all of those situations, absolutely. But that is far and in between. And I think once again, all this man has done is tap into the good old boy network and spill a whole bunch of rhetoric that these are the same people that don't believe in affirmative action and don't believe in all of these are those same people.
Yeah, that's very true. And just one last thing on the speech, and that's it, may continue on. Something I noticed, I'm gonna ask this question. We do have separation in church and state, right? So why take 3 preachers, reverends, pastors before the speech happened, and then 3 reverend preachers, pastors?
Let me help you.
Why did he even in the
God,
first place?
please come, because this damn fool is getting ready to destroy this country, and we want to make sure, we're not sure, we want to make sure we cover it all.
They were supposed to be there in the first place, to be honest, because God is not the author of confusion.
Absolutely.
I get the whole, I get all that. But 3, like a rabbi, I know Paula White, what's her name? Paula White, she got married, Kane. Paula White Kane, who I guess was one of the ones that got bashed for endorsing the man, or saying she would vote for the man, whatever. She came up there in the beginning, because she was the last one to give her speech from the iPad. And so,
She's like, well,
so it took 3, I guess, strong prayers, and hers was actually an exciting prayer, like a awesome on the Vicky. What did the girl name Vicky Yogi?
Okay,
On
that's
that
not
type, on that type of time.
Yeah, 'cause
Like,
she did
yes,
too much.
God, it's like she was saying God you answered prayers, but not really saying it. And then it took 3 for the benediction. And I was like, wait a minute, I thought we had a separation of church and state, but we got 3 coming in, 3 going out.
But I think Barack Obama shut that down when he went down to South Carolina and all but preached his initial sermon. I'm just waiting for him to
But
say
let
it.
her tell it. But then you can tell it, Jesus went in the White House.
Well, that's 'cause
I
she's
like
a
that
fool.
meeting somebody posted the other day with Jesus, like, with his suitcase, like, I gotta get back to the White House.
That's what caused her a lot of
Absolutely.
issues.
Yeah, but that was all that I took from the speech. I don't know if they're, showing it again and again. And if you happen to have the opportunity to record it and watch it, just
Why? That was a waste of time.
It was. But I mean,
Absolutely
as far as
nothing.
like informational purposes, if this is kind of like somebody's thing to get into the whole policy thing and watch it, I didn't even touch the parade or the ball, even though I seen how stiff they were moving. I didn't even touch that. But overall, his speech was I don't believe you. Because your campaign told me too much.
Yeah, that's true.
Campaign told me too much.
So you tried to wear white gowns to the ball and try to mimic Michelle Obama, and you stole Obama's cake design.
You stole Jackie Onassis.
Jackie-
And
really,
You
like,
stole
really.
Obama's cake
And the
design.
Yeah.
Duff was mad about that. Okay, he was really mad
It's your
about
own
that.
stuff. Why you
I
copying
think
that?
out of one of the things that I can sum up from is the comment that I got from my mom, who is 75 years old. And she called me when she realized that it was on, and she was like, what in the hell? In all of the years that I remember inauguration, this has got to be the craziest mess that I've ever seen. The speech was absolutely terrible. He should have bought a hype man because his own people didn't even know when to clap. They only knew when to clap because he took long pauses like, and went like this, okay, like, yeah, that's a moment.
Hell, Hitler.
Okay, exactly, that's like a moment. He tried to make emphasis. He said nothing about unity at all. He said nothing. Most inauguration speeches are about, okay, we know we did a dogfight campaign, but now it's time for us to come together as a nation, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he went on another attack, like you said, of everybody who he felt was wrong. I think that regardless of what you feel about President then Obama, the amount of disrespect that he was shown, I think for Mike Pence to come in and not even shake the current president's hand and walk past him and shake someone who's sitting next to him hand was pathetic. I think them both bypassing Dole in the wheelchair was humiliating. I think the treatment of Trump, people could laugh and joke, but I posted the other day that his wife is an abused woman. She is emotionally abused. You can see her, you can see that there's something wrong.
Yeah, I did peep the how he bypassed, and maybe because I watched the interaction when they all went to the White House and all that stuff, because it was interaction there too. So I really didn't take it as disrespect. I guess because if I came to your house, we all meet up at your house, and hey girl, and we all greet. I mean, I get the formality of it, but I'm like, okay, I saw you at the crib. I don't want to greet you again. I guess that's how I took it. But it wasn't until President Obama stopped and greeted Dole, and so when everybody else followed suit, and it was like, oh snap, let me do that for somebody.
I mean,
we
set precedents, and this is gonna be joking, but it's real. We set precedents. You fed us chitlins, but now we eat them, and now you want them because they're double. Like what? We set precedents.
What's that place they sell the greens now for like $80?
But let me
gentrified greens. Gentrified chitlins.
Let me bring it back a little bit, and because we promised you we would provide you with various pieces of information. So let me explain to you a little bit about the presidential transition. Now, those of you who are live, I made sure to post a little bit about the transition in the live feed. But there are 3 phases of transition. The pre-election, which is the planning phase. Listen to the verbiage. Pre-election. Pre-election. Your mind. The election takes place in November. The president takes the oath of office in January, pre-election phase, which is the planning phase. Then you have the post-election phase, which is the transition phase. And you have the post-inauguration phase, which is the actual handover, okay? So I need you to understand this. The full presidential transition begins in April of the election year. Listen, what sense does that make? How can you start a presidential transition without knowing who your president is going to be? I need you to think about that, okay? So, all the way through the inauguration and the administration's first 100 days is that handover phase. So, they said there's 75 days between the election and the inauguration, okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about the responsibilities that are required during the transition, okay? You have to staff the White House, okay? You have to staff the White House, which means not only are you staffing your cabinet, but you have to staff more than 4,000 presidential appointments. So what's going on with that? See, what's going to happen is a whole lot of Obama's people are still going to be working there because Trump can't even staff his daggone cabinet. They can't even staff, he can't even staff his cabinet. So 1,000 of those individuals require Senate confirmation. Do you guys realize why do y'all realize why there's a hiring freeze? Let me help you understand that. Because see, people like me, educated individuals like me who decided that I was going to take this opportunity to step my foot into the federal government simply because if the president of the United States is less educated than every last one of us sitting around this table, I have a problem with that. I'm sorry, you cannot be my president and be less educated than me. I need you to understand that. I need you to understand that a president of the United States would not fill his cabinet with a secretary of education who wants to protect kids from grizzly bears by having guns. Well, see, my analogy is that grizzlies are black. Grizzlies are black or grizzlies are brown. So what you're telling me is that there is a reason you feel like these people need to be protected from grizzlies. Okay. The president during his transition has to get up to speed on more than 100 federal agencies. Donald Trump does not have the mental capacity to get up to speed to 2 federal agencies. He can't get up to speed on the CIA. That's why he hates them. Donald Trump is too busy trying to affirm himself on Twitter. I need you guys to understand where I'm going with this thing. Okay. A 100-day plan. How many of y'all can give me 5 full-fledged goals in his 100-day plan? Goals, not objectives, which are the ways to the means. No. I need 5 full-fledged goals. Okay, finally. During this transition, he should be developing his strategy for communicating with the American people. Not the white Americans, not the African Americans, not the Chinese Americans, not the Asian Americans, the American people. He does not know how to communicate with us because he doesn't understand us. And the reason he doesn't understand the American people is because Donald Trump does not understand himself. Donald Trump is insecure. He needs to grow a pair. And he needs to understand that the world does not revolve around him. Because we, the people, run this country. And I need you guys to stop sitting around saying that your vote doesn't matter and your vote doesn't count and get involved. I need you guys to write letters. I don't care if you're a felon and you haven't had your rights restored. You can write a letter. It doesn't say anything about being a felon. You can't write letters and mail letters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all out here, you know what, let me just throw shots real quick. You know, everybody's out here and everybody wants to be a singer and everybody wants to be a rapper and everybody wants to be a poet. Well, why don't you write a poem about the injustices of the world? Write a poem about your senator and your representatives. Write a poem about these individuals and let them know you will not bow down to them. You will stand up to them. Why are you rapping? Rap about the reality. Rap about all the falsities that your daggone local government officials are putting out. Because that's what I need you you to focus your energy. I'm tired of us trying to build platforms around ourselves when we, the people, have an obligation to form a more perfect union. Stop looking for a savior. Obama won't go save us as black people, and Trump not gonna save y'all white people, and I need y'all to stop looking for a savior and understand that our savior walked this earth for 30 plus years and died on the cross, and I need y'all to wake up and understand that you gotta save yourself with the help of the savior that was risen, dead, and buried.
We want to just give a shout out, thank you. We want to give a shout out to Ron Bryan. Thank you very much for cutting edge. Y'all want to see some good information, watch all this stuff on his Facebook wall, cutting edge cartoons and Gigi's Place and so forth. And also, thank you very much, actually Jefferson, and thank you very much, Vicky J, for joining in. She has a great show. Go to her wall. She's going to be co-hosting a show around 9:30 after this. You know, you bring up a variety of different points because the people are just scared to admit that their way of life is not the same anymore. They drastically fear, and I'm not saying this from every Caucasian person, but I'm just saying that people in general fear their way of life. People fear of our color. They feel that they've achieved a certain level because of the previous administration, so they feel that that's going to go away. So that it works both ways, and is that the level that you achieve is going to be through the hard work, not because of what anybody's going to give you. And that's where they need to see you have to go forward. And it's the hard work is laying down the groundwork for anybody else. And if you don't do that, then you're going to be stuck in place going forward.
Well, the template is there. It's work to be done. Okay, you can no longer sit on the fence. You can no longer, the call to action is now. Okay? The call to action is now, okay? The scripture says that if the leader is ungodly, the people will be at rest, okay?
Say that again.
So,
Touch and agree, Ross. We touch and agree. That's right. That's right.
So this is why there's so much unrest in the world, okay? And you can say whatever you want to, but until we take, I'm all for it, I'm just so tired of people going, well, let's pray for him. And God also says God helps those that helps themselves.
Thank you.
Okay? And how many times you going to take your plate to the master and ask for more table scraps? It is time that we start doing a call to action. Okay, everything doesn't need to be a Facebook message. The greatest test